At the same time, it must conform with the rules of Arabic grammar as well as being intended, or for lack of better words, coming with, coming with an intention, meaning that it was intended. I'll leave it at intended. This is the technical. Umar ibn Khattab didn't like people to use technical speech that other people didn't understand. He liked to use very simple speech. But I think at this stage, you should be able to understand the technical meaning after we've explained it. Someone read this to me. Matter of fact, everybody read this to me, please.
Verbalization.
That's everybody? Everybody read this to me.
Verbalization, two words or more. It must benefit the listener to the point that he is no longer waiting in need of more words in order to understand the objective.
He is no longer in need, not waiting. We'll change that. We'll change that and say he is no longer in need of more words in order to understand the objective of the speaker. At the same time, it must conform with the rules of Arabic grammar as well as being intended. So now this is the technical meaning, the technical definition of lafdhun murakkabun mufidun qad wudi'a. Okay? Now, you have to explain that. Just for example, a verbalization. What does that mean? When we say a verbalization, what do we mean? Right, a sound emitting from, come on people, from the tongue. That's lafdhun. That we would call it verbalization. So then you look up the word, what does it mean for a sound to come off your tongue? That's called verbalized. Okay? Spit off your tongue. Consisting of 2 words or more. What do we mean here? Consisting of 2 words or more. What is that? Murakkabun. Meaning this verbalization is on top of what? Another verbalization. Right? Or more. Now, that verbalization can be literal or what? Implied. A literal is, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Give me an implied, can you hear me? Yes. The implied speech is, yes, I can hear you. Right? Right, that is correct. Okay, so that's the 2 ways. It must benefit the listener to the point that he is no longer in need of more words in order to understand the objective of the speaker. What is this coming from? Mufidun. Okay? Beneficial. At the same time, qad. It must conform with the rules of Arabic grammar as well as being intended. Where do we find that? Wudi'a. Placed and put grammatically in Arabic's own form. That's where it comes from. It must be placed, meaning you intentionally did it there. This excludes who? When we say it's in, as well as being intended, what does it mean intended here?
Exclude any other languages, only Arabic?
No, that's what it says, Arabic grammar. That excludes other languages. His statement was, it excludes other languages, it only means Arabic? No, that's when we say Arabic grammar. Conforming with the rules of Arabic grammar excludes other languages. What does it mean as well as being intended? The Imam saves you guys. He tells you that because you meant to say it, right? That's what you said. That you meant to say that statement, meaning that you weren't what? Like you're doing right now. Sleeping. You know, and I'm teasing. But because the person sleeping can say something like this, right? But did he intend it? He consciously stated this conversation. That's what we mean by being intended. Sometimes I put the jelly down. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Sometimes when I take the top off the jelly, I put the cap down and I didn't even think about where I put it. I put it down, but I didn't think about it. Did I put it down consciously? No. So that's not it. But sometimes when I've lost it enough times, I take the jelly jar top off and I look and with intention and tarkeez, and I put the jelly jar down. What about that? What is that? I had presence of mind. Do you understand that? There was a consciousness there. Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah ya sheikh. When I placed that jelly jar down, or that cap down, right? That is what I mean when we say here intended. That the person who spoke that speech, that verbalization consisting of 2 words or more, that benefited the listener to the point that he was no longer in need of any more words, so he could understand the objective, and at the same time it was in accordance to the rules of Arabic grammar, and at the same time it was what? Intended. If any portion of this definition is not present, then you do not have what? No, what don't, no, if any portion of this, so your answer was will there, that's incorrect. If any portion, what? No, no, that's incorrect. Mufid is not the right answer. You don't have what? Kalam. What don't you have? All of this, kalam. All of this is the definition, the technical definition. We went through it word for word. We went through it as a poem. Now we're learning in the English language what we call that. The speech. But no, I don't want you to say speech. It's called kalam. Learn the terminology that we're going to use. We don't have to reinvent the language or words in place of what we're talking. We're talking about kalam, indana. According to us. So we're going to use terminology that is familiar to us. We don't need a new word for Muslim, do we? No. Do we need to say those people who worship Allah? No, we have a word for that. That word is called what? Muslim. So when you define what a Muslim is, after the definition, what do you call them? Muslim. So likewise, we've defined kalam. So what are we calling this? Kalam. How many times are you going to recite this? No. The definition you recite 100 times. The definition, what we do, we recite the text 500. We recite the definition to the text 100. And we take our time and we do that. It's 100 times. How long is that going to take you? It's in English. 10 minutes. You have a week to do that. Well, actually, you don't have a week to do it because you have a lot of other work to do and stuff like that. You have to eat and stuff. Well, you don't have to eat, but you have to sleep. So 100 times, that's something easy. And believe me, if you do this, a lot of people talk the talk, but they don't want to walk the walk. The rule is walk the walk, then talk the talk. Okay? This is the work that has to be done to be a talibul ilm. Okay? This is the definition, and we're going to go from here. We're going to erase this and move on. Can I move on? Yes, I can. So then next week when I ask you all what is kalam, you will tell me what is kalam. Not me tell you all. Well, hurry up. I can get it from no, hurry up and write. And while we're doing that, we're going to go over the next part of our class. Right there, we said, إِنَّ الْكَلَامَ عِنْدَنَا فَلْ لَفْظٌ مُرَكَّبٌ مُفِيدٌ أقسامه التي عليها يبنى اسم وفعل ثم حرف أيوة. That's the next part of it. Yes? Okay. No, you can't borrow his notes right now. No husband and wife sharing stuff like that at this point. What do you need?
The last part to the
no ums, no ums. Take a breath.
The last part to the first part to the definition.
The last part to the, I can't understand the question.
The fact is the speech
okay. Will someone recite it? Recite it out loud.
The fact is that speech, according to the scholars of grammar, is, so listen carefully.
Okay, there's a pause there. The ulama go on to say, says, the fact, in this case, إِنَّ الْكَلَامَ عِنْدَنَا فَلْتَسْتَمِعْ, the fact of the matter is that speech, or kalam, according to the scholars of grammar, and then there's a pause for you to get encouraged to listen up. فَلْتَسْتَمِعْ, so then listen up if you want to know. The taqdiru kalam of the implied speech is, if you want to know what speech is, then the fact of the matter, speech according to the people of grammar is, so listen very carefully.